Okay, now that we have our game all set up, it's time to get set it with our animations. So I am going to go ahead and start inserting other types of shapes to make my obstacles. And I'm going to start with an obstacle that's going to fly around. So that lightning bolt's going to fly around. And then I can go ahead and change the color on that obstacle, just like we've done before. I'm also going to add a shape that's going to be spinning around in a circle. So you can place it wherever you would like, but just remember this is going to be your spinning obstacle in the game. As well, you can go ahead and give that a shape color so you can see where it's at and do whatever color you like. You already know how to do the coloring of shapes. Perfect. I also want to have something that's going to be blocking the end. So I'm going to go and grab a shape which is a rectangle, and I'm just going to draw it over part of the path. And then I'm going to rotate mine so it fits in perfectly. Now, the next part is I'm actually going to have this obstacle blend in with the background. And that way I can make it disappear when I need it to disappear. But I'm going to use this thing called the format painter. So to use the format painter, as you saw I just did, I clicked on the background and then I went and found that paintbrush in the home tab. And the next thing I click on copies that same format. The only error I'm going to have right now, though, is that my background did have a border on it. So I am going to click on the shape and then also go to the Format tab and then also go to the Shape Outline button. And inside the Shape Outline button, I'm going to go No Outline. And then it looks like it blends in. Now you can still tell it's another shape, but it blends in pretty well. And if you find that yours doesn't blend in pretty well, like I'm going to rotate mine trying to get it to blend in better and match it up better. But if you find that yours doesn't blend in well, you could put in some type of other image, like a gate or a fence or whatever you want to block. Just remember it's blocking somewhere in the past, so I'm trying to match mine up to get it to block and get it to blend in. So just from a quick eye view, it does look like it blends in, and that's what we want because later on we're going to make this object disappear. So I think mine will be good about right there is good enough. Now, remember that also you need to have something to click on that's going to make that shape disappear. So go ahead and grab an arrow and then you can choose the up, down, left, or right and place it where needed. Also type click or click here on it so students know to click on it, or not students, or whoever's playing your game. And then make sure to go ahead and adjust it and put it on your path and get it to fit correctly, such as I am doing right here in the video. And just gotta squeeze it down a little more and decent enough. You can also go ahead and color that. One thing to make comment of is this is the minimal amount of obstacles you need to have. One that spins, one that flies around, and then an object that's blocking the path and disappears. This is the minimal. You can do more than the minimal. We're going to get started though with our first animation. So I'm going to click on the circle and then I'm going to go find the animations ribbon up top. And then when I click the animations ribbon, I have tons of animations and I can click on the drop down to find even more animations. And for this animation, I'm going to want it to spin. So I'm going to find the spin animation and click on it. And look, it spinned. Now, I wish it was that simple because if I go to play my game, you see that it's not working. Nothing's working. That's because I haven't told it when to spin, how long to spin, and when to stop spinning. So that is why I need to now go do the next step, which is more difficult. And I need to find the button called Animation Pane. Pane means window. So when you click on the animation pane, it pulls up this window with all your animations. And right now I only have one animation. I'm going to click the drop down on this animation, and then I'm going to click the timing button. When the timing button appears, it's not working because right now it says it has to be clicked on. Like I have to on click to make it work. Well, of course we don't want that. I want it to spin when the slide starts, not when I click on it. So I'm going to click the drop down and I'm going to choose with previous. And what this means is when the previous slide ends, like slide number 1, then the action is going to start. So when the previous slide ends, it's going to start to spin. You can choose your duration. I am going to put mine on extremely slow. We'll see what that looks like. And then repeat. How many times do you want it to spin? 1, 2, 3, 4? No, you want it to repeat until the end of slide. So after you get it to repeat until the end of slide, you could also give it a delay, like when you start the game. It doesn't spin for 2 seconds and then it will start spinning. So let's go look at that. So at first you're going to think it's not working because I gave it a 2-second delay, but then after 2 seconds it starts to spin. Oh wow. And as I make my way through it, when I get to it, if I touch it, it should make me lose. But if you have forgotten to do this step of how to make actions over images when you touch them, let's review how to do that. You go to Insert, Action, and then it's mouse over, because if your mouse goes over it, you're going to lose. You're going to hyperlink to Slide, and then slide 3. And then OK, and you can also give it a sound if you'd like to, so when the person loses, a big sound comes. So now, if I'm going to go and try my game, oh, we know that one's working in the background. It makes me lose if I touch it. So let's go try the spinner that's going really slow. I probably need to speed that up. And look, perfect, made me lose. So we're good to go on the spin one. The only thing I might want to change is the speed, like mentioned. Okay, let's go do the flying around object. So I'm going to click on the object that's going to fly around now. And then you already know I'm going to go to the animations ribbon, click the down arrow, and then do you see anything about flying around? No, because you need to scroll down a little more, and then you have motion paths, and you're going to click on custom path. After you click on custom path, you can click with your mouse and then start to draw, and it's going to draw the path that you want it to go on. I'm going to go ahead and draw my path, and then when I'm all done drawing my path, I am going to double click, and then when I double click, it previews what the path looks like. But you're smart and you know from experience that that object is not going to fly around until I go set it up. So I need to go back to my animations pane, click on the down arrow in my animations pane on the object that I'm going to edit, and then hit timing. And then on here, yep, with previous, I'm going to give mine a delay as well of 2.5 seconds, and then I'll make the speed extremely slow. Now, you don't have to give it a delay if you don't want to, and then remember until the end to slide. I just like to give it a delay to fake people out. I'm also going to go and fix that spinning one because it was way too slow. So I'm going to go back into timing and show you that you can fix it after if you realize it's not working how you want. And I'm going to put it on very slow. We'll see if that speeds it up a little more. Okay, let's go try it now. And remember, my games do have delays on them. So when they start, just remember that they do have delays. Oh, and I forgot, I need to go do insert action, hyperlink, mouse over, so that if this lightning bolt touches me, I also lose. Don't forget that. As you can see, I almost forgot to do it myself. Okay, let's go try the game. So as we start, there's a delay. Oh, and then the lightning bolt starts. You got to be careful. It's going extremely slow, and I sped up the circle, so it's going a little faster. But oh man, my game is just too hard for me. I got to make it easier, probably. All right, I'm also going to move my lightning bolt around to show you that if it went over the object that's going to disappear, that it wouldn't work because it would go behind it. So you want to make sure that you take the object and then send it all the way to the front and send everything else behind it. So, or sorry, back. You want to send it back a few steps so the lightning bolt goes in front of it. So go ahead and send that back, or you can do the opposite and grab the lightning bolt and send the lightning bolt forward, but just make sure it's going in front of the object, not behind it. The lightning bolt's in front of all the other objects. Like you can see now, mine is, because it's going to be moving around in front of all those. All right, I'm going to put it back to its start spot. And we are now going to get to the point where we're going to make that if we click here, that my rectangle object that's blending in will disappear. So this is going to be our last animation. So I'm going to go click on the object, but first I'm going to go insert action, mouse over. Don't forget this step to make sure you lose if you touch this. So that way, if the player puts their mouse over that object, they do actually indeed lose. Okay, perfect. Now we have everything making us lose like it's supposed to if you touch it. And now we are going to be ready to animate and make it disappear with the click of the arrow. So you're going to click on the box or the whatever's your blockade, go up to animations, and then inside exit, you're going to find one called disappear. So go ahead and click disappear. Now as well, you know that we have to set this up that it's not just going to disappear when we start the slide. because it's not disappearing. So to get that to disappear, we're going to also go into the animations pane, click on the drop down arrow and go into timing. But this one's a little different because this time we do want to click on something to make it disappear. We don't want to go with previous because the last thing we want is for it to disappear right when we start the slideshow. We want to click on something, so leave it on click. But instead, we want to find how to use the button called triggers. And what triggers does is we're going to tell what's going to trigger the disappearing act. So on the click of what will it disappear? And that's where we click on this box, start effect on click of. And then in this dropdown, you have a list of every single shape you've entered into your PowerPoint presentation in chronological order from first to last. And as you can see there, the last thing I entered in was the lightning bolt, but close to the bottom, I put in that arrow, the left arrow that says click here on it. So now I'm going to say the object is going to disappear when I click on the left arrow. And now we have this animation good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And then let's go try this one out. Except I'm just realizing I'm going to have a hard time getting past my spinny stuffs, and I don't want to waste your time watching me keep failing in my own game. So I'm going to cheat and quickly make this big so I can test my game. And this is what you could do too if your game's hard. Just hurry and make it big for a sec so you can go and test it. And perfect, it worked. And then obviously you're going to, oh man, I even lost at the end, what a fail. Now, one thing to notice is that once you've clicked it to disappear, the second time if you lose and you come back into the game, it's still gone. It's going to be gone forever. The only way to bring it back is to actually escape out of the game and then restart the game. And when you do that, then it will reappear. But once you get it once, it's never going to come back unless you restart the whole game. And then I win when I get to the end. So perfect. We see it works. And if you did mess with yours, to go ahead and try it out and then go ahead and put it back to what it's supposed to be for your actual maze game. Okay. I have everything working good. It looks like in my slide, the whole game's working. So you are now going to be having another student play your game and giving you a grade. And if you are online, there's no submission in Canvas. So you can just go ahead and email me like the instructions tell you in Canvas. So then I can go ahead and grade your game myself since there's no student to grade your game. So go ahead and save as, browse, and then remember we're now saving to our, go to this PC and find, I'll open up my window a little bigger, and you're going to go find your Google Drive, Drive, and then you'll go in through your folders like you know, Strand 3, Presentations, and then save it as Maze Game to your Presentations folder in Strand 3, and hit Save. Perfect. Okay, and close out anything that gets in your way. And now, remember what I just mentioned. Someone else is going to grade yours, and when they do grade you, they'll give you a score out of 8, 6, 4, 2, according to how well your game performs. And then they'll report that grade to me. I'm going to go over that with you in person. But again, if you're watching this and you're online or at home, just go ahead and email me your game, and I'll play it and give you a grade for it. Great job, and I hope you enjoy playing your maze game. Have your friends play the maze game and your family. Show them your proud work and how well you've done in this class with your maze game. Also, just to remind you how to get to my email, if you forgot how to get there, you can go up into the modules button and then find the course syllabus. And when you click on course syllabus, it does have my email right there for you to copy and paste and put into your Gmail account, your student Gmail account, so you can go ahead and email me that.